I haven't given up when it comes to XCN, and I want to explain why, even though nothing I say is financial advice. First of all, the idea of 25 cents, it hasn't left my mind, but also on top of that, some people may be thinking, okay, still, but why won't you give up on XCN? I mean, take a look at the price as of right now. Well, first of all, when I first started acquiring XCN, it was actually way worse than right now. So if I didn't even give up back then, I don't know why I would give up right now despite the pullback. But then some people may kind of, counter that and say, okay, easy for you to say that you acquired XCN a while back ago, but how about right now? Well, here's the thing. I'm still dollar cost averaging into XCN, and I haven't given up. Now, people may be thinking, okay, but why? Well, it's because I've seen what XCN did not too long ago, and that was without an altcoin season, in my opinion. And also on top of that, I understand that the market is not just going to have this smooth sailing, right? It's going to have its moments, right? It's going to maybe go up sometimes, go down sometimes. There's a lot of variables. But to me, there is one thing I can control, and that is myself. So if I believe in a project, I am not thinking about it like, oh, maybe a week later or 2 weeks later and then I'm out. That's not my style. That's not what I do. I am literally dollar cost averaging, holding and just waiting. So let's say I can dollar cost average when the price is going down. I'm going to do that. If the price is, let's say, on the rise, I'm still doing that. So let's say if I'm just acquiring, let's say, over an extended period of time, right? By still acquiring even moments when there's ups and downs, I just kind of keep it simple in a sense where I'm still having this stable sort of approach to it where I just don't give up. So that way, there's moments where it does dip, there's moments there's up, but then it kind of evens it out because I'm just consistently acquiring it over an extended period of time. But again, I'm not telling you to do anything. But this is just a way to take a look at it because whenever the market wants to wake up, it is literally beyond my control. Like, there is no way for me to know when exactly XCN is going to do this or do that. And how can I? Okay, maybe I can pull up a price chart, try to figure out this and that. But the thing is, let's say I drew a falling wedge pattern, right? I drew a triangle on a price chart. Literally no project out there, and also the market, let alone, is going to care about that, right? Personally for me, I don't think it's going to affect anything. So why do things that are beyond my control? I'm going to do things that are within my control, and that is literally just dollar cost averaging, holding, and just waiting, and that's about it. It's like, for instance, let's say I'm running a marathon. I cannot know, right, what's going to happen throughout that journey. How would I know? Because maybe it starts raining. Maybe, let's say, there's a detour. Maybe this route doesn't work. I have to take another route. That is beyond my control. But the thing I can control is my preparation, right? Let's say I practiced before, but then during the race, it's going to be beyond my control what happens during that marathon, right? So that is why, literally, that's my approach when it comes to this. Whatever happens in the market, it's beyond my control. There's one thing I can control, and that's myself, and that's what I want to do. It's just kind of the preparation, as opposed to trying to, let's say, I want to run a marathon, and I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen at the 5th mile, or let's say at the 3rd mile. Like, I don't know. Like, I haven't run the marathon, right? So why would I worry about that? I'm just going to practice on the preparation, so to speak, and just focus on that, as opposed to trying to worry about things that are not within my control. So what is XCN going to do in the next 2 Tuesdays? Like, that is beyond my control. I can just control myself. So that's why I haven't given up, because I kind of understand that, whatever happens in the market, it's beyond my control. All I can do is just focus on projects that I believe in, hold, and that's it. However, why hasn't the idea of, 25 cents left my mind? It's because at nearly $9 billion in market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply, it is not something that necessarily, I think, at least indicates to me something too outlandish. Now, if the market cap needed to reach 25 cents was like 50 billion or 100 billion or something like that, then that's a different case. You know what I mean? XLM currently, market cap is like slightly over 10 billion. Let's say we just assume, in a make-believe scenario, XLM's current market cap is 10 billion, right? Just for simplicity's sake. 10 times that is 100 billion. There is no way I think XCN could ever reach that during the cycle, So then, at the same time, but again, this is just my perspective. However, if I just take a look at nearly a $9 billion market cap, it just, again, doesn't seem that ridiculous because, again, XLM currently has a market cap that is more than this, right? And the thing is, this is not during an altcoin season. And also on top of that, Onyx, kind of my perspective on it is that it's basically a miniature version of Stellar, but then just with a way lower market cap than XLM. That's kind of about it. So then, if I kind of believe in somewhat a smaller version of it, why would I think that market cap seems that ridiculous? But again, this is just my perspective. Now we're on a 22x from here. Like, it's not going to be the best thing of all time, I'm totally aware of that, but then sometimes people like to ask me, okay, if you understand that that's not going to be the best thing of all time, why would you even hold? Now, my response is that I am not looking for a microcap. Like, I'm not looking for like 100x or something like that. That's not what I'm in here for, right? Now, it's going to be different on a case-by-case basis, but that's just not something I would do, personally, because when it comes to a microcap, like, sure, maybe some could do okay, but then we have to consider how many of them are there, right? So then, for one that does okay, maybe like 1,000 doesn't make it or whatever, right? I mean, I'm just giving an example here, like just in my perspective. It's just to kind of emphasize that for one microcap that makes it, a bunch kind of not really makes it at all. So then, I just don't want to do that because what am I going to do? Have a portfolio that's like 1,000 projects? Yeah, that's not what I'm doing, right? To me, I'd rather focus on these type of projects that may not necessarily have the biggest market cap out there, but not the smallest either, but still have quite an established, following, pretty good exposure in terms of the kind of notoriety of it. So that's kind of the stuff that I'd rather focus on and just have, these projects that have a pretty good market cap and pretty solid fundamentals. And I kind of do see that when it comes to Onyx because much like Stellar and much like Ripple, it is focused on payments. It's focused on global trade and finance, right? When it comes to Onyx, they're still doing stuff when it comes to the wallet. Also, on top of that, the testnet launch of Goliath seemed like a pretty okay success from what I've seen, right? Goliath is this layer 1 blockchain for the world of finance. So they're making strides. Fundamentally, I think they're improving. Price-wise, they're not really doing great at all, actually. Actually, it's way better than before, but considering where it once was, it's not doing that good. So then, to me, fundamentally, I still like it. If anything, it got better fundamentally, in my opinion, because of the Goliath launch and, just kind of what they're doing overall. So, again, if let's say the price is down for something that I like fundamentally and I think actually improved, I just don't want to give up. But then, quite simply put, that is just my outlook when it comes to XCN as of right now. I get it, there was a pretty okay recovery when it comes to altcoins, not so much when it comes to XCN. Now, there's a pullback again, maybe different again when I upload this video again. The market's going to move up and down like that. Especially in the short to medium term, it could be so, random, right? But then at the same time, I'm not worried about that. I'm more so focused about the long term, which is why I'm staying patient. And that's about it. I don't need to check my portfolio every 5 or 10 minutes. That's just not my style. I'm just holding, waiting, and that's it, and not giving up. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.